So this is the way I love to trade, right? Number one, of course, I've had my key levels marked sometime. You're expecting this market to go up this point. Now, you want to see what's the direction of the market, but on a good day, the first thing I would love to do is to come to the market and mark the previous day high and low, all right? And so probably let's just mark it with horizontal rate. That will not waste too much of our time. All right. So I've marked my horizontal ray with the previous day low and high, my horizontal ray. But if you even look at it, this market jumped. Okay. There was a jump of this market from not really this candle, it was maybe somewhere here. So there was a gap. That's what it means. Okay. So look at it. Now, this was another block. Okay. And this other block, do we have any kind of fair value gap? Not really. There was no fair value gap. All right. Now, so this is the point we need to understand. Now, the market ought to be making it headway to this point. The first thing you want to ask is what's the trend of this market? Sideways movement or an uptrend, perhaps? I'm unable to ascertain that here, but if I spread across here, probably going to 4 hours to be able to just align something faster. Okay. Then you know that this was an uptrend, probably finishing the uptrend somewhere here. So, but that's cumbersome to arrive at it anyway, right? Because there was a jump, we need to come fill, but we know that there's so much volume that we're moving around that point. So I'm going to look for a buy or a sell opportunity, right? And so how do I find a sell opportunity here? Now, if you look at my RSI, the market is already overbought, right? Okay, so that should be an average for me. Now, so I'm going to go to 1 hour to still find the proper kind of thing. Now, because I've known that the previous day high had been swept, all right. And then another thing probably you want to check if you have a session arranged. So this is sometimes you want to wait for a session so that you can have appropriate stuff. Probably you want to check or add up some Asia session. Okay, so this is Asia session. You can use ICTQ zone. It's not coming up. Okay. So if you look at it now, this is Asia session for this market. So by some time, the trade should be sweeping a high or a low of short sessions or something. But the point is that the previous day high had been swept. Okay. Now let's go to 30 minutes. Perhaps you can find all the stuff. So in 30 minutes, so we could find the trade. And sometime probably you want to plot a trend line, but I don't know the trend line you're going to plot here anyway. So then you go to 15 minutes. Maybe that should be the last point. All right. So this is 30 minutes, 15 minutes. So ordinarily, you could see the market. This is a high and a low. Then this created a high and this is a low, right? And then this is a high. So this is higher than this. So on 15 minutes already, you already have a market structure shift. So let's take off this. Now, the challenge you have is that the market could still come back to the Asian high when the trade opens. So let's close this. Okay. So what am I having here? This is not a key level sometimes, so you have to be very careful about it. If it's a key level, that's a massive one for me to sell. Okay, but look at it. Here is a high, here is a low, and here is a high, and here is a low. So this is higher than this. Now, look at what am I looking for to actually short the market is that I wouldn't know if this one, so this actually came down here. That's what it means. This week came down massively down here. So it's not here. So it's actually here. So we've not gotten what we're looking for. So meaning this still stands. If you see this right now, still stands. So this has not been able to sweep this. So you have no market structure shift yet. So if you go to 5 minutes, so do we have similar that? This is a high and then a low. This is higher, and then this is a low, and this is a high. Now, so this one is still standing external. So here we go. Now, this is what's going to happen. So let's simply find a way around this. So here we have a high, and then we got a low. Now, not up to this low. So this is a new low. So find a low here. All right. So look at it. So then we've got about a new high. So this become, so you find this one become what? Higher high. And this one become what? Okay, lower high. Okay, so this one become lower low. All right, so just get to understand it so you can take it one simple step at a time. So this one become a lower low. Okay, so what has happened simply is that you want to take a turning point, higher high, lower low. Now a break of structure has happened, or which you call market structure shift. So here is MSS. Okay, so MSS. So this is market structure shift. Now, ideally, you needed this market to return back up here before you find a sell. So do we have any point of interest over there? Here we have some. Then this one was touched to an extent, but was not totally filled. So we're going to take this to this point. This is, right, this is fair value gap. Do we have another one? Of course, we have one inside this place, another fair value gap. So which one do we look? Probably it's going to be respected. Okay, so we have another fair value gap here. This was still touchable, another fair value gap. Well, all right, so now this is what we want. This market, we want it to return back here or here, and then get rejected for we to sell. So this market, yeah, we'll have to wait for that confirmation and then for us to sell. Okay. Without that, if you sell now, the markets return back here or up here, you're going to be struggling with the market. So that's what we're waiting for SNDJPY. So we're waiting for a sell. Especially, I think Frankfurt should be opening shortly, and then London section. So you may want to wait for London section to open so that the market can manipulate back up here, and then we'll be selling. Okay, so I was selling, look at first take profit, then second take profit, because these are liquidity areas, right? Then if we go back to 15 minutes, so you can see down then to the gap. I think this is a market I don't need to actually miss. So let's wait. All right, let's wait. This is the traded area. Let me take it like this. Okay, trading zone. Okay, so let me bring it in. Trading zone. So we'll wait for this market to return back to this zone, then we'll be selling. Trading zone wait. till London section. You see? So that's this. We're waiting for the market to actually return back up here and reject. So it's not just about return back and reject. Then we should be looking for selling. Okay. So that's what it is. So let's await it. All right. So see, when you don't jump in, you wait for this area to happen, and then we will look for the opportunity to sell. All right. So let's see. Oh, good. We missed. I told you that we missed code. We'll see what this market did to us. So let me quickly explain to you what this market did to us. Although we didn't refine our stop loss very well, that was the problem. This is this is um this is AUD USD. We don't refine it properly. Here you have, look at the high of the day. Look at it here. And then look at the low. That's why I was saying that there's a need for patience, right? This is the low. So we need the market to take out that high. And I tell you, remember, see, there was still other series of high liquidity zone there. Okay. And then we'll just have to wait for it ordinarily. Okay. Then waiting for it to sweep that liquidity, then go back to 4 hours. You see something? Those are chubby market, you know. Yeah. So the market has swept that liquidity. So probably you want to go to 15 minutes, 5 minutes to align your market, but probably, right? So aligning your market probably. So let's go to 5 minutes. You know, the market was actually here. It was previous time. So this is a high. This is a high. This is a low. This is a high. So although the market was actually not a good one to that extent, because most time I tell people all these kind of markets that have very bad structure. So, but if you go to 1 minute, probably you want to have a proper refinement for sniper entry so that your stop loss will not be too bogus. You still have this as a high and then this as a low. So, but if you go here now, this is what really happened. Yeah, so this is a high, this is a low, and then this is a high. We have a new low, then we now have a new high. So what really happened there is that's very simple. You already have a new low here. Let's just extend it out. So you have a new high, and then this is a high, this is a high. So this is a lower high, and then this is a low. Now this high have broken this low, which is MSS. And this MSS, you want to return back. But you look at, this is not a perfect market because you want to have a point of interest like imbalance, that's fair value gap and all of that. So for that, when you come there, you want to now find an entry. So, but we don't have. So let's look at the external low. So almost, so we do not have, but so the market has rejected probably, and so probably after this rejection, So all of these, but these are not really healthy markets. So these are chubby market that's actually not giving a clear definition. So you are still more or less like a gambler to entering that market, right? So, but now taking this market probably after this, then this low here. Now your stop loss can just be above this because not really this again. And then your first take profit, 1:2 risk reward. So if you see that 1:2 risk reward almost aligning here, then you extend back to 5 minutes. So you will have a very better entry with rest of mind more. Then other one can be extended down here. Then other ones to the low of that previous day you have marked. I wouldn't know where that is anyway. So let's go to 1 hour probably to see it. Yeah, I think, okay, that means this. So that one is by extension. So you end up having 1:6 risk reward, depending on if the market actually give you what you actually demanded. All right. So that's one of the things I want us to continue to have understanding about, following the markets as much as possible. So gold on its own is just creating a new realm, new dimensions, and all of that. Okay. SND. JPY, remember I said we're waiting. Waiting to come back up here. Then we'll find this out. All right. So basically, that's what chat need to give to us so that we can learn more and applying what we're learning. Okay. Better understanding. We have this position still running, right? But if you look at it, we're stopped out of the AUD, yeah, AUD USD. So, but AUD SND, SND USD, USD in the market. So what really happened on that one, Seth? Let's look at on daily time frame. Okay, we actually did not swept. Do we? As if we did. I don't think so. We only take our stop loss far above the previous day high. Okay.